Welcome to Podcast Talk with Superhero in Trend. Every day we have superhero around us that inspire us. They are a living proof love and hope are never fails, and life are worth to fight for. Today I want to introduce you to my friend Janetta Barajas. She is an artist, a hairdresser, a businesswoman, a mom, and a wonderful woman that full of life. For over 20 years, she does celebrities, entertainment industry, and specialized in hair service. She had appeared on several shows doing hair, including The Girl Next Door, The Doctors, $1 Million Listing, and several Playboy documentaries. She just celebrated her 50 years birthday. I went with her to celebrate her birthday in Mexico, Hobos. And in this interview, she will share her life. And let's hear ourselves what her secret for live life with full excitement in her 50s and single life.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Superhero in Trend. So you just celebrate 50 years birthday.
Yes, and I was really happy to have you along in that. It was so much joy, like you brought. I know it must be hard for you to go into a situation where you don't know anybody, but everybody loved you, and that makes me so happy because I really tried to put together like the best group of people possible,
Yeah.
And so I'm just off the tails of my 50th birthday in Mexico City, and then in Holbox, and it was actually at a certain point I was so overwhelmed, like with the love and with attention. Like I even asked you at one point, please stop, like no more things about me, and I didn't want any more happy birthdays, but I have to accept that those things are love and people sharing their love. And so I don't know, it was an interesting thing to accept and follow. And then of course once I saw your beautiful photography, I'm like, okay, you can please take more.
Like one thing that I learned from you, you have such a positive attitude toward age, and then you look really great. You know what I mean? Like some people 50 something, they don't have this what you call excitement anymore. So maybe you can share, because you're also available hot single lady. So just share what excites you, what makes you so much spark joy everywhere you go. Like when we were in Holbox, I mean, this young folk, younger men, they are all over you, and Sabrina and everybody just like want to asking you out. It's just crazy, right?
But I feel like it's like it's more about an energy.
Yes.
And I felt like when we were going places, it was like this like explosion of excitement and happiness, and so I feel like people are drawn to that. And right. I've only been able to get to this place in my life by truly following my dreams and following my heart. And I feel as though when you're doing this, and I'm really lucky that I was able to get into a career with hair because it allowed me to do my art, and then it gave me freedom to be able to live my life in a way that pleases me. Like I've had like a really tumultuous time, in life and in my career, and like with people, leaving this world, and also really hard roadblocks. And so I feel like so finally now at 50, I think I'm just so happy because a lot of things have like faded away. It's gotten easier. You know, we made it through the pandemic, and so there's nothing I can do except, you know, celebrate and enjoy and be happy for life, you know, like with the way that it is. So
that's really good. So your tips is just enjoy and celebrate life, no matter how old you are, no matter what's the past. I like that.
Yes. I'm happy to be alive. You know, I lost my mother at a really young age when I was 3 years old. And so I've always felt her around me and helping me and guiding me. And even more recently, I feel it even more, you know.
Me too. My mom passed away through cancer. So you know, so for me, it's also like when I wake up and healthy, and that's just a gift. And sometimes we take it for granted. So what's your advice for single woman that you know that looking for love, and especially when we are younger, we lost identity, like why we are not fit in the box, you know, like because some people have a definitely like box, like graduate and working and then married and have a kid and so on and so on. But you have such a unique life too, and maybe you can share a little bit about you, how you maneuver your life that is not based on what people say or what the society box you to be.
Yes, well, I think that when I was 16, I had to make up my mind to not follow the box that my parents were putting me in, you know, and even though I love them, just because of what works for them, even when I was 15, I was figuring it out that I couldn't live their life. And so I left the house at 17, my sister as well, and we had to fend for ourselves and start all over, you know, leaving our Jehovah's Witness religion. I think that made me very strong and independent, and from an early age. And you know, like my mom leaving us, I just always feel like I have to live two lives. I have to live my life, and then I also have to live things that, you know, that like she needed or didn't get to fulfill, you know. And when I was, so then being independent from a young age, you know, starting my career in my 20s, and I was put into this world of, okay, so like this society of Playboy, and here I am, really, you know, naive young girl. Of course, I'm insecure around these like models that are posing naked, and I feel so awkward, and I feel so fat, and I'm like just so shy. But in the same time, I'm making them beautiful. And then over time, I get to see, oh, these are just the girls next door, you know, is what they call them. They're very sweet girls. So I got to connect with these girls on a way that like most people don't get to see behind the scenes. And everybody has their insecurities. So, and it's really funny because like I remember someone just sent me a screenshot of me on the TV show The Girls Next Door. And I think of myself like the same now as I was then, but I see this young girl that looks so different. And I want to send you this picture later so you can see. And I look at this young girl who is too shy to show her body, or thinking she's too fat to wear a bikini. And I look at myself, and I was so tiny, I was so skinny, like I don't, you know how I ever could have thought that. Because now I feel like, okay, I feel like, so our mind is never going to be happy with where we are physically. So now it took me this long to be able to accept where I am, love where I am, and cherish where I am. So now I will wear a bikini and I won't care, because when I was, 25, I didn't think I could do it. So now, and I totally could have. So now I'm like, okay, I don't want to be 50 and not think that I can do it, because I'm not going to rock a bot. I'm not going to be thinking I'm 75. I'm not going to be ready, So I just got to do it now. And then I think that when you love yourself and when you accept yourself, other people can see this. And so that's the type of energy that attracts, other people to you, whether you like men or women or both. It's all about, people just want to be happy, and people want to forget about what they're worried about. And so this is like what I've chosen to live my life now, is pursuing my happiness and not worrying about my imperfections. And I feel like if you don't notice your own imperfections, and other people around you start to not notice theirs either, because everybody's just starting to have too much fun to care.
Right. You mentioned something, when you are in your 20s, you are insecure who you are, how you look. But now, as you're getting older, in your 50, I took a picture of you, like so many beautiful, sexy, beautiful women. I'm like, dang, that's so hot. So what's your advice to 20-something? Because right now we are in the dilemma when younger people, they look into this Instagram with filter and all these things. So they feel like I'm not beautiful enough, or the same thing when we were in our 20, we feel like, oh, I'm fat, I'm not wearing my bikini, so I have a belly, those kind of things. So what's your advice to younger?
So first of all, like, the first thing I would do, not use any filters. Like I although I've seen what happens in Photoshop and this and that, like, I've never used a filter on my own. Sometimes I've been with a friend who's used a filter, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I look totally like dysmorphed. Like, I don't even like the filtered version. I want the real thing. I want, I want to look what I look like in real life. I don't want someone to meet me and think, oh, you look so much better on Instagram. And okay, well, I have been told that I'm photogenic, so people might think I look better in pictures, but it's still never, I don't like filters, and I don't feel like we should be so hard on ourselves. Like, if someone takes a picture, I don't have to look at it and critique it and say, no, do this angle. Like, I just accept how I am, what happened, and embrace it, enjoy it. I think that I don't like to, we have to teach ourselves not to be so insecure. And I think filters make us
more insecure.
Sure. I feel like, for young women, don't use filters. Accept yourself. If you have to do meditations at night, like, our bodies are not perfect. Even sometimes my back hurts, but I still give gratitude. I do meditations and I thank every single part of my body. Like, I will say, my back, thank you, back, for supporting me. Thank you for my legs, which I feel are too thick, but thank you, my thick legs, for being the strong support that I need to stand and run and work every day. So instead of every negative thought you have about your body, you have to turn it around and be grateful to it and thank it and tell that part of your body what you love about it. And so eventually you just start to love and accept yourself. Even if you have to do it every day for a year, you train your mind to not hate and loathe or be embarrassed or ashamed. So you're changing your mindset to love and accept yourself. And then when you can do that and you show yourself to the world, people aren't looking at your flaws, they're looking at your happiness, and they see beauty.
I know you that you also don't have this perfect life. You are struggling as well in the past. In the moment of the deepest sadness, what's your superpower for you to get up and just move on? Like, just get up and like spark you to motivate you to live?
Mhm. Well, it's like I still feel like in my life I haven't accomplished yet like my goals, you know, like I feel as though um I'm happy and I feel blessed for, even though I don't have a lot, you know, the what God has given to me. And my art has always been something that has helped me through like my darkest times. When I was really sad when I was a teenager, like I would just start drawing and painting, and then I would just release my sadness or my emotions like through the art. And I felt like my best art came from when I was sad. And so I feel as though whether you are a writer or, you know, a painter or, you know, even trying to help people less fortunate than you, that's another thing I would think of. Like, even no matter how bad I think I have it, somebody always has it so much worse. So, you know, I've gone to, you know, convalescent homes, and I've, you know, spent time with older people, like even, and I know that that can be something that can change our perspective, because it's like no matter how old or young we are, it's like we're all wanting love.
Right.
And so also having my son when I was young at 20 years old, like there's been times when I haven't felt as close to him as I've wanted, but I want to live, I want to be like there. I want him to know that I'm there for him and that I love him, and that I, you know, there's been times when I felt distant from him, and I always felt, if I felt down about that, I said, well, you know, because kids can be so separate,
Yes.
isolating from their parents and into themselves. And I didn't always feel the love that I wanted from him. But once I had a realization that, you know, it's not his job to love me, but my job to love him. So it's sort of like inspiration, you know, the love for my child, and, you know, my love for life just keeps coming through. So it's like being a parent and working on my art has helped me through my darkest times. For the viewers, like, just know if you're going through something really, really hard, like, you know, like there was times in the past, you know, I mean, like everybody sometimes has suicidal thoughts. Like I tried to end my life when I was 16, you know, like I thought that was the only way out, but I'm so happy that I didn't succeed. You know, things change, things turn around. Like, so no matter like what you're going through in like a really hard time, in dark times, like I also feel as though we almost need those really dark times to help us appreciate when we are in a good place, when we are happy. Like, it's just, you know, life is always like the yin yang, you know, like you can't have the dark without the light, and vice versa. But when you have the for me the good times, like, definitely outweighed the bad, and you just have to keep focusing on the good times and keep your, you know, your eyes on the light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's like one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time. Be patient and keep being grateful and praying, and you know, you're going to come out of it. You know, it's going to, things will change. The tide changes, you know, there's like, and I guarantee the happier times are definitely worth waiting and going through that hard time. You'll see that it all was for a reason.
I kind of inspired by you as well, because you travel a lot. Tell me a little bit your passion about travel, where that come from, and where's next you want to go?
So when I started working with Alexis Vogel, who was my makeup mentor. In fact, I have Alexis comes up so much in my mind. Like I'm wearing this ring that she gave me. She passed away a few years ago from cancer, but she took me on my first trip out of the country. It was to France,
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't even have a passport. And so I had to hurry up and get a passport so I could go and do Pamela Anderson's hair and work alongside the makeup legend, Alexis. And through her, it just opened a whole new world and doors. And she also had a big love for life. It was the biggest flirt I ever met. And I was so shy next to her. But here I am with Pam and Alexis. You can't be shy with these are like superhero women, just changed my life walking through the streets of France, these little tiny towns. Like, and we had done Pam's hair and makeup, and it just to see how the doors like fly open and people are like, come, like just all the joy and fun and love and that was my first. We went to the castle. We stayed in a castle where Nostradamus was born. We went to this beautiful countryside bed and breakfast, and everything was so beautiful in France. It looked like you're looking at everything through rose-colored glasses.
Oh,
That
wow.
never would forget, like how beautiful everything looked. The air was different, the sky was different, the flowers, the plants. And so my work allowed me to see the other parts of the world. So ever since then, like I just found a way to travel. Like I went to Burning Man probably 2008 or 2009, and I met a man who's French, but he lived in the Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
I would go and visit him, and he took me to his family's chateau, and it was like a fairy tale because we'd be in the room and the horse would pop through the window just to get love, and we were doing archery, playing pianos, eating lunch outside under cherry blossom trees, and like it was
God.
just so beautiful how different life can be in other places. And also going to Burning Man is a whole new experience of seeing how like technology and art and people meet from all over the world, and everyone's just so like loving. It just, once you experience this kind of joy and love, it's hard to go back and be negative, because I know that life is beautiful and that people want to share and love. And I have a pretty trusting nature because of all the great things that have happened to me.
Yes.
I feel as
Right.
though if you look for great things, they're going to happen. If you look for bad things, they're going to happen.
Yeah.
You almost will.
It's
You
like
will into
frequency, right? It's like you put antenna and then you just like, okay, like it's like radio. If you want pop music and then you tune in on the pop music. So yeah, I agree. It's all about how
I
we
feel
think.
like young girls going back to, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like you shouldn't be jealous about like, what is your boyfriend doing? Who's he talking to? What's on his phone? Like, because if you're looking for something bad, you're going to find it. So my philosophy about that has been, you have to be like so open, happy, trusting, and happy within yourself that he doesn't even want to like, he wants to be around your joy because you are love. If you're worried about, if you're insecure about where he's doing or what he's going, it's going to drive him there. Like I kind of have that opposite effect. Like I don't, if someone wants to cheat on me or be with somebody else, I'm not sad about it either, because that means he's not meant for me, and that somebody else who is going to love me and appreciate every cell of my being is waiting for me somewhere else. So I don't know. Don't get jealous. Don't get insecure. Love who you are, and the right person's going to love you.
Right, right. So, what's your new chapter gonna be if you can, write your next new chapter?
Well, when I was a teenager, I was so good at getting people down. Like I could feel myself when I could nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Now over 20 years has passed, but I've started getting back into painting, and I'm looking forward to that feeling of nailing it again. I've challenged myself recently with the classes in Rome with Natalia to draw from live models.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really feel like getting into this painting again is going to make me feel like I've come around almost like full circle to where, I want to be. Like the painting gives me enjoyment. It gives me happiness. It gives me fulfillment. And also gives other people joy.
Yes.
I like my job too, like making people feel on the outside what they're thinking that they are on the inside.
Yes.
It's also a gift to be able to give people. I'm looking forward to our family growing and being a grandma. And so the next chapter will be like just getting back into my art, growing and loving my family. And I'm not looking for love anymore. If it finds me, it's going to happen. But I feel so happy and content right now.
Like when I'm with you, I feel this good energy, like make me happy. So you're definitely already inspired me and other people. From your birthday, I can see that you are surrounding really good friends.
Well, like I think that the thing that attracted me to my friends is that they are creatives, like myself. They live their life passionately. They're pursuing their dreams, like through, like design and through acting and through, like even having their own businesses. Now a lot of them have young children, so they're like starting their families. Like I'm happy that now I can be there and be like aunties, their children. And the thing that's really great is like I see that my friends' children want to hang out with me, like I'm their friend too, and that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And music is also a big inspiration for me. Like when you were saying that, like that song, This Little Light of Mine was in my head, like it's like a joyful song, and you have to, it's about, letting your light inside shine. And that's like part of the acceptance, because God made each one of us perfect in our own way.
Right. What do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone who inspired people. Like I want people to get out of their shell. I want people to not be afraid. I want people to love who they are, and also do good for others, because it's a constant cycle of like giving others. If you're giving others and making other people happy, it's all gonna come back for you too. One other thought that I had, what I wanted to share with you is,
Sure.
How earlier when I talked about when I was in France, it's like looking through everything at rose-colored glasses, and then I thought, like, you look at everything through rosy-colored glasses. So
yes.
wonderful.
Yes, I do see everything in the roses glasses, but sometimes it's muggy. Like when like few days ago I was so down for no reason. I just like, what is this for? I have everything, but what is this for? So dumb. So I have to clean my glasses and
Yes.
like, hey,
Yes.
like, hey, Rosie, get up, don't be so negative. Life
Glasses
is
to a friend to wipe them off for you.
right. You wipe it out. It's true. We take it for granted. We always compare our life to other people. Well, we learn every day. That's why we call it superhero in training, right? We don't know what we're doing, but we just keep moving along.
It's helping people along the way. It's like that's what also brings you joy, is to help other people. You can help them out of bad situations, mentally, and never even know it. Like, that's what I think that I try to do, is just like inspire and motivate and hopefully bring somebody out of something down and spread joy. And I feel like you do this too. It's so wonderful to have a friend like you. So I thank you for your friendship.
Thank you. Yes, you are an artist, you are a hairdresser, and you painting. Right now, you have people hire you to paint animal.
I've done lots of people's animals, and I've also have requests for people. I'm starting to warm up into that avenue again. So like the next chapter will be art, and also I have a list of places I would like to go still for travel.
Yes.
Like still so many places in the world to see, and nice friendships to make along the way, and also still cultivating and cherishing and loving the friendships that I have had already. Like the 50th birthday party was a huge send off of love.
Yes, it was.
Kicked me in the right direction again to continue.
Yeah.
I have 3 Instagrams. One is like my personal fun page, and that is Janet _ say _ quoi. So it's a play words for je ne sais quoi, which is a French expression of like that certain something that we don't know what it is, but it's really fun or special or magical. It just is like, they don't have an expression like that in English. So I think that was a really funny play on words. My hair page is Janet B Hair. My painting page is Whisker Business, and it's business with a Z.
Thank you, Janet, for stopping by, and thank you for the viewer and listener to watching and listening to this podcast. If you like to contact Janet, I attach her Instagram in the information page. And I also want to ask you a favor. If you like this podcast, please like and subscribe, so I know should I make more this type of interview. Thank you so much. And always remember, love and hope never fail, and life is worth to fight for.